Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Extension and Development Studies, SOEDS. Postgraduate Diploma in Population and Family Health Studies, PGDPFHS. Meds 07 to Population Theories, Policies and Programs. Block-1 Population Theories. Unit-3 Optimistic School of Thought. 3.1 Introduction. The optimum theory of population was propounded by Edwin Cannon. However, it was popularized by Robbins, Dalton and Saunders. The optimum theory establishes relationship between population growth and food supply. This theory dovetails the how overpopulation and underpopulation have problems in dealing with the issue of development. Customarily, optimum means the most desirable size of population from the standpoint of the development of the nation. The second part of unit deals with the transitional theory of population. This theory shows how the birth and death rates of population being influenced in different phases of demographic transition. This unit deals with the optimum theory of population, and after reading this unit, the learner will be able to narrate various features of optimum population theory. 2. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of optimum theory of population. 3. Describe the transitional theory of population. 4. Discuss advantages and disadvantages of the transitional theory of population. 3.2 Optimum theory of population. The optimum theory of population states that, given the natural resources, stock of capital and the state of technical knowledge, there will be a definite size of population with the per capita income. The population which has the highest per capita income is known as optimum population. The concept optimum population has been defined differently by various exponents. Those are as follows. Robbins defines it as the population which just makes the maximum returns possible is the optimum population or the best possible population. Saunders defines it as that population which produces maximum economic welfare. According to Dalton, optimum population is that which gives the maximum income per head. 3.2.1 Features of optimum population. The optimum population is such that it is neither too small nor too large. It is a balance between the overpopulation and underpopulation. The level of optimum population will differ from country to country and from one point of time to that of the other. The optimum population balances between the available resources and requirement of population. Optimum population is a dynamic concept and it changes depending on the quantity and quality of a country's available resources. An optimum population ensures or secures a maximum per capita income to the population of a country. An optimum population is attained by the country at the point of full employment. The management or control of economy in case of optimum population is easier as compared to the over and underpopulation. Optimum population enables the nation to attain highest standard of living in a country. 3.2.2 Interpretation of the optimum theory of population. In order to understand the concept of optimum population, the following points are to be studied carefully. 1. Population is the manpower needed to exploit the natural resources and thereby promote economic growth. 2. As long as the optimum point is not reached, the nation shall remain unable to exploit the natural resources to the maximum possible extent, i.e., properly and fully. 3. If the population crosses the optimum point, then the nation shall not get the maximum return. This is because the large population will create pressure on other resources. The burden on those resources will become disproportionate. 4. If the population is at the optimum point, the resources are properly and fully utilized. It gives the ideal combination of factors of production. 8. Also helps in promoting division of labor, which augments gross domestic productivity and per capita income. Optimum population. The optimum population is that population which is helpful in the development and well-being of the nation. States. Carl Saunders considered optimum population as that which produces maximum welfare. Bounding was of the view that optimum population is that population at which standard of living is maximum. Underpopulation, if the actual population in a country is less than the optimum or ideal population, it is considered as under population. In this situation, the per capita income is low. In other words, if the per capita income is low due to too few people, the population is then considered as underpopulation. Overpopulation, if the actual population is above the level of optimum population, this condition is considered as overpopulation. The overpopulation will lead to decline in the per capita income. In the diagram, population is shown in the horizontal axis and income per capita along y-axis. OS is the income per head, which gives only subsistence wage rate to the population. This level of wages puts the minimum limit to the income per head. The subsistence income per head can prevail with two levels of population. One, when population is too small to exploit the country's resources with maximum efficiency. This is the level of OA population. 2. When population is too large and the efficiency falls to give only a subsistence income to the labor force. This is the level of OC population. Figure 3.1. Optimum population theory. Look at the screen. In this diagram, OP shows optimum population which uses the available resources to give itself the maximum income per head. OA is the under population and OC is the stage of overpopulation. Dalton has used a formula for the calculation of under and overpopulation. According to Dalton, any deviation from the optimum level of population is called the maladjustment. The maladjustment, M, is a function of two variables, the optimum level of population and the actual level of population A. The maladjustment is M is equal to A 0 by 0. When M is positive, the country is overpopulated, and if it is negative, the country is underpopulated. When M is 0, the country possesses optimum population. 3.2.3 Advantages of optimum theory. This theory is more relevant and idealistic as compared to the Malthusian theory, as it establishes relationship between population and productivity as well as income. This theory adopts dynamic and optimistic viewpoint of population and its impact. It takes into account the holistic view on population and development. The idea takes an optimistic and realistic approach to the population problem. 3.2.4 Limitations of optimum theory. Despite its advantages over the Malthusian theory of population, the optimal theory has several flaws. There is no evidence of an optimal level in any country. It is a kind of hypothetical projection. The optimal level is not permanent but fluctuates over time. For the developing countries, it is very difficult to fix optimum level of population. It has not taken into consideration the social and institutional circumstances relating to population growth and its impact on development. In this section, you studied about the optimum theory of population. 3.3 Demographic transition theory. Demographic transition is a concept coined by Warren S. Thompson and later on popularized by Frank W. Notestein. This theory describes historical process of change that explains trends in births, deaths, and population increase in the contemporary world. 3.3.1 Stages of population transition. First stage, stage of high birth rate and high death rate. This is the stage of high birth rate and high death rate. Some of the features of the country at this stage of demographic transition are: the economic development is low and slow. Agriculture is the main source of income of the majority of people. The country is predominantly rural and majority of the people found to be living in the countryside. The people's level of living is poor due to lack of medical services, diseases, famines, and illiteracy. The death rate is high because of social and economic factors. The birth rate is high. People are being guided by the traditional beliefs and values. All of the world's countries were at this stage 200 years ago. To second stage, the stage of high birth rate and the low death rate is also known as the stage of population explosion. In this stage, birth rate is high but death rate is low. It results in high growth rate of population. In this stage, income begins to rise and economic activities expand. On account of better health facilities and nourishing diet, death rate falls rapidly. Birth rate remains high due to social backwardness and limited access to contraceptives. Some of the features at this stage are: the birth rate is high while the death rate is low, resulting in the high growth rate of population. This the pre-industrialization stage of development. At this point, income begins to grow and economic activity begins to expand. Still the socio-economic backwardness prevails, for which the birth rate remains high. Improvements in sanitation and healthcare result in a decrease in mortality. Because of this disparity, the net gain to the population is substantial. India, Kenya and Egypt are falling in this state of population. Third stage, stage of declining birth rate and low death rate. This is the state of modernization, urbanization and development which lead to declining in the birth rate and low death rate. Some of the features at this stage are as follows. The country become economically developed and at the same time a lot of social changes takes place in the economy. People become more conscious about the quality of life and people begin to view large families as a liability. Brazil and even Sri Lanka are falling in this category of demographic transition. Fourth stage, stage of low birth rate and low death rate. This happens in the countries where the economic and social development is high. The education level among the population becomes higher and the nation-states able to provide better and quality healthcare services to the people, resulting in lower death rate. The life expectancy of the people also rises at this state of population transition. Population stability occurs in the fourth stage. In this stage both the birth and death rates are lower. The mortality and morbidity rate becomes low because of availability of better quality of healthcare services. The standard of living of the people increases because of the economic progress and people are capable of affording for better healthcare services. People assign adequate importance to quality of life by controlling their family size. Japan and USA fall in this stage of demographic transition. Last stage, fertility and mortality both fell significantly in the last period. The population is either constant or steadily increasing. Some of the features of the population transition are this stage are narrated below. The nation-state becomes highly urbanized as it is happening in the America and European nations. The nation becomes technologically advanced and various advanced methods of birth control and family planning methods availed to the people. The people have a hectic life and do not prefer large family size. People are incredibly adaptable and capable of adjusting their fertility at this stage of demographic transition of population. Different nations are now in various stages of demographic transformation. The diagrammatic presentation of demographic transition theory is given in The Figure 2. Figure 3.2, Demographic Transition Theory. Look at the screen. 3.3.2 Advantages. This theory can be applied to many of the countries and is more universal in nature. This theory talks of demographic change and entices the nation-states to introduce appropriate population control measures in order to restrict population and raise the standard of living of the people. The timescale of each stage is flexible. Thus it is more practical, realistic as compared to other theories of demographic transition. It enables comparisons to be made demographically between countries. 3.3.3 Limitations. It assumes that over the period of time all countries will be developed and would have the same demographic transition features. This is not possible. This theory does not take into consideration the migration of population into account. This theory does not take into consideration the government role in population control, for example, one-child norm adopted by China. This theory is based on the European and American model of population transition and do not take into view the population transition in African and South Asian countries. In this section you studied about the optimum theory of population. 3.4 Summary. This unit covers the optimum and demographic transition theory of population. The optimum theory of population states that the optimum population is such that it is neither too small nor too large. It is a balance between the overpopulation and underpopulation. While the demographic transition theory describes the historical process of change that explains trends in births, deaths, and population increase in the contemporary world. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.